They did not wait to feel ready. They did not wait for the obstacle to move before taking a step. They took the step into the obstacle and figured it out while they were already moving. That is the only way forward. Not around the hard thing, through it, and through it while you are moving. Not while you are standing still trying to plan the perfect path. The perfect path reveals itself to people in motion, not to people who are waiting for the map before they start walking. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, nobody cares what you went through. Nobody cares what your body felt like. Nobody cares how hard it was. Nobody cares that you had a reason. The result either exists or it does not. The work either happened or it did not. The version of you that you are capable of becoming either got built or it stayed a potential, sitting in the graveyard with everything else that almost happened. Nobody cares about almost. Nobody builds a life on almost. Nobody becomes something on almost. You have everything you need right now, not tomorrow, not after the next thing falls into place. Right now. The only thing standing between you and the life you actually want is the decision to stop treating effort like something you give. When the conditions are right, and start treating it like something you give, because that is who you are. Who you are does not change based on the weather. Who you are does not negotiate with the alarm clock. Who you are shows up every single day. Regardless, nobody cares. So stop waiting for them to, and go build something they cannot ignore. Every single day, you have a choice. And it is not a complicated choice. It is actually very simple. You can choose to be the person who makes excuses, or you can choose to be the person who makes progress. You can choose to be the version of yourself that tells a story about why it did not happen. Or you can be the version that made it happen. You can look in the mirror in the morning and start negotiating with yourself about what is and is not required today. Or you can look in the mirror and say, this is who I am choosing to be today. And I am going to show up as that person, regardless of how I feel about it. The mirror does not lie. You know when you gave everything. You know when you gave most of it. You know when you gave just enough to say you tried. And you know when you did not try at all. That knowledge lives in you every single night when you go to sleep. And the accumulation of all those nights is your character. The accumulation of all those choices is who you are. Not who you say you are. Not who you intend to be. Who you actually are is what you do when nobody is watching. When nothing is enforcing it. When the only thing that could make you do it is you. Choose accordingly. Every day. Even when it is small. Even when it is hard. Even when you are not sure it is working. Choose the version of yourself you are trying to build. Choose it until it is not a choice. Until it is just who you are. 10 years from now you will be someone. The question is who. 10 years from now you will arrive somewhere. The question is where. Those answers are not decided by what happens to you. They are decided by what you do every single day between now and then. Every choice, every session, every time you pushed when you wanted to stop, every time you stayed when you wanted to leave, every time you chose the right thing over the easy thing. That is what 10 years from now looks like. It is the sum of all of those daily decisions made over a long stretch of time. And the terrifying part is, the time is going to pass anyway. 10 years is going to happen whether you use them or not. The decade arrives on schedule for everyone. The question is just what is in it when it gets there. What did you build in it? What did you become in it? The graveyard is full of people who plan to start in 10 years. Who said they would really get serious when things calmed down. When the kids were older. When the job was more stable. When they felt more ready. And 10 years came. And they pushed it forward again. Do not be that person. Do not let the decade pass on a promise you keep renewing, but never cashing in. The time is right now, not because the conditions are perfect, because the time is all you have, and it is going either way. The grind is not glamorous. That needs to be said out loud, because somewhere along the way, people started making the grind look exciting. They made it look like something you do with great music and perfect lighting, and a coffee in your hand at a beautiful desk. That is not the grind. The grind is ugly. It is repetitive. It is the same motion done again and again until you lose count. It is the same skill practiced until your hands know it before your brain does. It is boring sometimes. Genuinely boring. And that is the test. Not whether you can grind when it is exciting, whether you can grind when it is boring. When there is nothing thrilling about today's session, no landmark moment happening, and no visible progress, and you just have to trust that doing it again today matters. Even when it does not feel like it matters. Even when you cannot see how it is helping. You do it because it is the day, and it is the work, and that is enough reason. And that attitude, that quiet, unglamorous, unposted, unwitnessed, daily commitment to the work is worth more than all the inspiration in the world. Because inspiration runs out. Boredom does not. Life is mostly ordinary days. The person who can work hard on ordinary days wins. Time doesn't stop. You already know that. Time doesn't wait for you to get your life together. Time doesn't slow down because you're sad, because you're confused, because you don't know what the next move is. It doesn't care that you got hurt. It doesn't care that things didn't go the way you planned. The clock keeps moving. Nobody cares that you had a hard start. Nobody cares that the odds were against you. Nobody cares that people doubted you, or that the environment you came from wasn't built for people like you to win. You know why nobody cares? Because every person who ever made something of themselves came from something hard. Every single one. The guy you look up to, the one whose life looks perfect from the outside, he's got a story too. He's got pain too. He's got nights where he didn't know how he was going to keep going too. The difference isn't that his life was easier. The difference is that he decided that his circumstances were not going to be his excuse. He decided that nobody was coming to save him. He decided to get better. That's it. That's the whole secret. That's the thing that people search for in books, and podcasts, and videos, and self-help content for years. And it's right there. Just get better. Nobody cares about your story until you've written the ending they couldn't imagine. So stop telling the sad chapters and start building the final one. Let's talk about what you're actually doing with your time right now. Be honest. Not with me. With yourself. Because you can lie to me. You can close this video and go back to doing whatever you were doing before and tell yourself you'll be serious about it tomorrow. But you can't lie to yourself forever. Deep down, you know whether you're working or you're pretending to work. You know whether you're building or just talking about building. You know whether your days are full of action or full of distraction, dressed up as productivity. If you're honest, if you really look at the last 30 days of your life, the last 60 days, the last year, and you ask yourself what actually changed, what actually got better, what did you actually build or learn or earn or become, and the answer is not much, then you already know what the problem is. The problem isn't luck. The problem isn't timing. The problem isn't other people. The problem is that you are not getting better. And nobody is going to fix that for you. Nobody can. Only you can decide to get better. And until you make that decision for real, not as a feeling you get watching a video, but as a commitment that lives in your chest every single morning when the alarm goes off, nothing changes. So cut the distractions. Cut them. Not slow them down. Cut them. Clubs, parties, the hours on social media watching other people live, group chats, the gossip, the drama that has nothing to do with where you're trying to go. Cut it. Every time somebody calls you and tries to pull you back into the noise, you have to ask yourself one question. Is this getting me better? And if the answer is no, then you already know what's happening. Why are you always busy? Because I'm getting better. Why don't you come out anymore? Because I'm getting better. Why are you always studying, always training, always working when everybody else is relaxing? Because I'm getting better. Why are you so different from everyone else you grew up with? Because I'm getting better. That's the only answer you need. Not just to give other people, but to give yourself on the nights when the grind feels pointless and the progress feels invisible, and you start wondering if any of this is even worth it. Is this getting me better? If yes, that's the whole framework. That's the whole system. People who distract you, they're not bad people. Most of them. They're just not going where you're going. And they don't understand why you're so serious. They can't see what you see. They can't feel the fire that you feel when you think about what your life could look like if you just stayed committed long enough. They look at your sacrifice and they see someone missing out. You look at their comfort and you see someone sleepwalking. You're both right. You just want different things. And that's fine. But you cannot want what they have and also want what you're chasing. You cannot be average and exceptional at the same time. You cannot be comfortable and built at the same time. You cannot fit in and stand out at the same time. So stop trying to do both. Stop trying to keep everybody happy while also trying to become something. It doesn't work like that. Choose. And if you've been watching a video like this, if you feel something when you hear words like these, then you already know which side of that line you want to be on. So be on it. All the way. No half measures. No 1 foot in and 1 foot out. All the way in. Here is what getting better actually looks like. Because people have a fantasy version of it, and then they hit the reality, and they quit. The fantasy is getting better feels good, that you wake up motivated, that the work feels exciting and alive, that you're surrounded by people who are cheering you on, that every day you can see yourself improving. That's the fantasy. The reality is different. The reality is that most days getting better just feels like work. It feels like doing the same thing you did yesterday, even though nothing happened from it. It feels like going to train when your body is tired and your mind is telling you there's no point. It feels like sitting down to work on your craft at 10 at night after a full day when you'd rather just turn the television on and disappear. It feels like making the hard choice when the easy choice is right there, close enough to touch, whispering that you've earned it, that you deserve a break, that you can start again tomorrow. Getting better mostly feels like resistance, like pushing against something that doesn't push back with any visible results for a very long time. And that is why most people quit. Not because they can't do it, because it doesn't feel like anything is happening, so they stop. But here is what you have to understand. The results are happening. You just can't see them yet. Every time you choose to work over the comfort, something shifts inside you. Every rep, every page, every hour, every day where you show up even though you don't want to, it's adding up. It's building something underneath the surface that you can't see from the outside and that other people definitely can't see. But it's there. It's real.
25.
And one day, not because of any single session or any single breakthrough, but because of the thousands of small decisions you made in the dark when nobody was watching, one day it breaks through, and it looks like overnight success to everyone else. And you'll know it wasn't. You'll know it was the Tuesday you wanted. The Friday night you stayed in when everyone was out. The morning you woke up before the sun because you knew that window was yours and nobody else was using it. That's where the results come from. Not the big moments, the invisible ones. Now let's talk about who you're listening to, because this matters more than people realize. You are becoming whoever you spend your time with, not just physically, but mentally. The voices you let in, the opinions you take seriously, the advice you follow, the people you compare yourself to. All of that is shaping the person you're becoming, whether you want it to or not. And most people are listening to the wrong people. They're taking advice from people who haven't done what they're trying to do. They're letting small voices make them feel small. They're comparing their inside to everybody else's outside and deciding they don't measure up. Listen, the only person whose opinion about your potential matters is the person who's been where you want to go. Everybody else is just guessing, and most people guess low because it protects them. If they can convince you that what you want isn't possible, They don't have to feel bad about the fact that they never tried to get it themselves. Be very careful who you let plant seeds in your mind, because whatever gets planted there grows, and you do not have time to spend the next 5 years pulling out weeds that somebody else put there. Get around people who make you want to work harder. Get around people who make your goals feel small, because their goals are so big. Get around people who are doing, not just talking about doing. And if you can't physically get around those people yet, get around them through books, through interviews, through studying how they think and what they did when they were at the stage you're at right now. You are allowed to build your inner circle in your mind before you build it in real life. But you have to be deliberate about it, because the alternative is just absorbing whoever happens to be around, whoever's loudest, whoever's most comfortable to be around. And comfortable doesn't get you better. Challenge does. Uncomfortable does. Being around somebody who makes you realize how much you still have to learn, that does. There is going to come a day. It might have already come for some of you. A day where you look at where you are and where you want to be, and the gap is so big and so obvious that it makes you sick. Not a good sick, not a motivating sick, a real sick. The shame and anger and frustration all mixed together kind of sick. Where you see someone else doing the thing you always said you were going to do, and they're doing it, and it's working for them. And you realize that you've been saying you were going to do it for 2 years, 3 years, and you still haven't started. Or you started and stopped. Or you started and slowed down. That feeling, that sick feeling, is actually one of the most important moments of your life. Because in that moment, you have a choice. You can take that feeling and swallow it and turn it into bitterness, into resentment, into a story about why they got lucky and you didn't. Or you can take that feeling and turn it into fuel. You can let it light something in you that doesn't go out. The people who win are not people who never felt that sadness. They're the people who felt it and chose fuel instead of bitterness. Every single time. And the feeling comes back. That's the part nobody tells you. You think it comes once and then you deal with it, but you're on the other side. No, it comes back. Every time you plateau, every time someone passes you, every time you have a bad week and fall behind on where you thought you'd be, it comes back. And every single time, you have to make the same choice again. Fuel or bitterness, work or excuses, get better or stay the same. The people who have made it to a level you admire, they've made that choice thousands, and they'll keep making it. Because the game doesn't end. The only thing that changes is the level. The choice stays the same. Stop waiting for someone to clap for you. I mean this. Stop waiting for the validation. Stop waiting for someone to notice. Stop waiting for the likes, the comments, the recognition, the pat on the back that tells you you're on the right track. Because here is the hard truth. When you're in the middle of building something real, when you're in the part that matters, the ugly part, the grind part, the nobody sees it part, almost nobody is going to clap for you. Your friends might not get it. Your family might think you're being unrealistic. The people around you might see your sacrifice and think you're being weird or obsessive, or that you're missing the point of life. And in that silence, in that absence of applause, you have to be your own crowd. You have to be the one person in the room who is absolutely certain that what you're doing is right, even when nothing around you confirms it. You have to give yourself the signal that you're on the right path. Because if you wait for the world to give it to you, you will wait forever. The world only starts clapping when you've already arrived. But the decision to keep going has to be made long before you arrive. Usually alone. Usually in the quiet. Usually when everything in you wants to stop. The exceptional path is a lonely path. That is not a warning. That is a description. When you choose to go with an average, you leave average behind. And average is where most of the people you know are living. And so for a while, you are going to feel like you don't belong anywhere. Too serious for your old crowd. Not successful enough yet for the crowd you want to be in. In between. That in-between space is the most dangerous place in the whole journey, because in that space, doubt lives. Doubt sounds like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I should go back. Maybe it's not worth it. And if you listen to that doubt, if you bend to it, you go back, and you never find out how far you actually could have gone. And that will bother you for the rest of your life. So don't go back. Sit in the in-between. Earn your way through it. Because on the other side of that lonely stretch is the version of you that you keep seeing in your head late at night when you're honest about who you could be. It's there. It's real. You just have to refuse to quit before you get there. Let's talk about the people who can't catch a break. The ones who always have a reason. Life's been unfair to me. Nobody helped me. The system was against me. You don't understand what I've been through. You want to know something? I don't want to hear it. Not because I don't care. Because I do care. Which is exactly why I don't want to hear it. Because every minute you spend telling that story is a minute you're not spending writing a different one. Everybody has been hit hard. Everybody. The difference between people who build something and people who don't is not the severity of the hits they took. It's what they did after a hit landed. You got knocked down. Okay. What are you doing about it? You had a bad start. Okay. What are you doing about it? Things didn't go your way for a long time. Okay. What are you doing about it? The answer to all of it is the same.
25.
Get back up. Get better. Again. And again. And again. Until the thing you're building is so strong that the next hit doesn't knock you down as far. And the hit after that doesn't knock you down as far. That's how you build resilience. Not by avoiding the hits. By getting hit and getting up so many times that getting up becomes your instinct instead of your effort. The victim story is comfortable. That's why people hold on to it. It explains everything. It makes the failure someone else's fault. It gives you a reason to stay still. But comfortable is the enemy of better. You cannot be comfortable and be getting better at the same time. Comfort is the thing you feel when you've stopped growing. When you've decided, consciously or not, that this is good enough. And for some people, some places in life, good enough is fine. But you are not watching a video like this because you think good enough is fine. So stop using the comfortable story. Start using the true story. And the true story is not that life beat you. The true story is that life is hard. Has always been hard. Will always be hard. And the question is not whether you face difficulty. The question is whether difficulty makes you better or makes you bitter. Choose better every time. Discipline is the whole thing. People talk about motivation like it's some kind of magical force that shows up when you need it and carries you through. Motivation is a feeling. Feelings come and go. You cannot build a life on a feeling that comes and goes. You have to build a life on a decision. And that decision is called discipline. Discipline is not a personality type. Discipline is not something you have or don't have. Discipline is a skill. It's a practice. It's something you build the same way you build a muscle. Slowly. Through repetition. Through doing the thing you don't want to do. Especially when you don't want to do it. Because that's the whole point. If you only do the work when you feel like it, you're not building discipline. You're just following your moods. And your moods will not get you to where you want to go. Your moods change based on how you slept, what you ate, what someone said to you, what the weather is. You cannot let your moods be in charge of your output. Your decision has to be in charge of your output. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. Doing the thing anyway. Not because it feels good, because you decided it. And when you have that discipline, something starts to happen that is hard to describe from the outside. You start to trust yourself. Real trust. Not the kind of confidence that comes from talking yourself up or telling yourself affirmations in the mirror. The kind that comes from proof. You told yourself you would show up today, and you showed up. You told yourself you would do the work, and you did the work. You told yourself you would stay the course even when it was hard, and you stayed the course even when it was hard. And all of that starts to stack, and the stack becomes something solid inside you. A knowing, a quiet certainty that doesn't need anyone to confirm it. That kind of confidence cannot be faked, and it cannot be borrowed. It can only be built, and you build it by keeping the promises you make to yourself. First the small ones. Get up when the alarm goes off. Do the workout you said you'd do. Finish the task before you rest.
25.
Spend the time you said you'd spend. Keep the small promises, and the bigger ones become easier to keep. Break the small ones, and every big promise you make to yourself will feel hollow, because you already know, deep down, that you've broken your word to yourself before. Don't break your word, not to others, but more than anyone, not to yourself. Now let's talk about failure, because you're going to fail, not maybe. You're going to fail, multiple times, in multiple ways. And the way you handle failure will determine almost everything about where you end up. The people who are great at things are not people who avoided failure. They are people who failed more than you and I, and kept going anyway. They failed and got up. They failed again and got up again. They failed in ways that would have made other people quit permanently, and they got up again. And each time they got up, they brought something with them that they didn't before. A lesson, an understanding, a clarity about what doesn't work that you can only get from doing the thing and watching it not work. You cannot think your way to that understanding. You cannot read your way to it. You have to go through it. And that means you have to be willing to look like you don't have it figured out. You have to be willing to try something and be wrong. You have to be willing to fall in front of people and get back up in front of people and try again in front of people. That takes something. It takes a level of not caring what people think about your process that most people never develop because they're too afraid to fail publicly. But here is the thing about failing publicly. The people won't fail. Most of them are too scared to even try. So their opinion of your failure is worth exactly nothing. Congratulations if you failed at something real recently. I mean that. Because it means you were in the game. You were trying. You were in the arena. The people who never fail are the people sitting in the stands, judging the people in the arena. Don't be in the stands. Be in the arena. Fall down in the arena. Get back up in the arena. And know that every single fall is taking you closer to winning in a way that watching from the outside never could. The only real failure is the permanent stop. Everything else is just data. Everything else is just part of the process. Everything else is just the cost of getting better. And getting better is worth the cost. Every time. Now, here's the part that nobody wants to say out loud, but everybody who has ever done anything knows is true. You are going to have to become okay with being alone in your belief for a long time. Alone in the belief that what you're building matters. Alone in the belief that the sacrifice is worth it. Alone in the belief that you are going in the right direction, even when nothing around you confirms it. And that aloneness, that isolation in your conviction, is not alone. It is the price. It is what you pay for the chance to become exceptional. Because exceptional means not like everyone else. And not like everyone else means the path looks different. And when the path looks different, you don't have a crowd walking alongside you. You have the people behind you, still on the common path, confused about why you turned. And you have the people ahead of you who are so far ahead you can barely see them. And in the middle, you have yourself. Just yourself. And that is more than enough. If you trust yourself. If you know your why. If you are clear about what you're building and why it matters to you. That clarity is your company on the lonely parts of the road. Hold on to it. And when it gets hard, when you want to stop, when you genuinely cannot see a reason to continue, try this. Tell yourself that this moment, this exact moment of difficulty, is the story you're going to tell one day. The bigger the difficulty, the bigger the story. The harder the chapter you're living through, the more powerful the moment when you tell someone how you got through it.
25.
You are not just building the thing. You are building the person who has the story of building the thing. And that person, the one with that story, is worth 10 times the person who had it easy and never had to push through anything. People want to hear from the person who struggled and kept going. People want to learn from the person who failed and got up. Because they're struggling too. They're failing too. And they need to know it's possible to get through. So, you are not just doing this for yourself. Every day you keep going. Every day you choose discipline over comfort. Every day you choose to get better. You are becoming an example that someone else is eventually going to need. Don't let them down. Keep going. Success is the only real answer to the people who counted you out. Not the only revenge, the only answer. Because anything else you do in response to being underestimated is just noise. You can argue with people. You can prove it in conversation. You can tell them they were wrong. None of that lasts. None of that actually settles it. The only thing that settles it, permanently, completely, without room for debate, is building something so undeniable that the argument is over before it starts. When so big that the comparison hurts them more than it hurt you. Yet so good that the people who doubted you have to watch you and measure their own lives against yours. That is not arrogance. That is the highest form of quiet discipline. You don't say a word. You don't need to. The results say everything. So stop spending energy on the response. Spend it on the work. The work is the only real answer. Get back to it. You have everything you need right now to start getting better. Tomorrow, right now. You don't need more information. You don't need the right equipment. You don't need someone's permission. You don't need better circumstances. You need the decision. Just the decision. Everything else, the tools, the resources, the connections, the opportunities, those come after the decision. Those come to the person who is already committed, who is already moving, who has already decided that this is happening regardless of what gets in the way. The resources follow the decision. The right doors open after you've already started walking toward them. But you have to decide. And then you have to act on that decision when it's not convenient, when you're tired, when you're scared, when you don't know if it's working. When people are looking at you like you've lost your mind. You act on it then. Especially then. Because that's when it counts. That's when the decision gets real. That's when you find out if you actually meant it. You are better than you have been acting. Read that again. You are better than you have been acting. The gap between who you are and who you're capable of being is not a life sentence. It's a challenge. It's an invitation. The potential you have is real. It's been real your whole life. It's been there underneath everything, waiting for you to stop making excuses long enough to access it. You've seen glimpses of it. The moments when you were fully locked in. The moments when you forgot to doubt yourself because you were too focused on the thing in front of you. The moments when you did something that surprised even you. That was not a fluke. That was the real you leaking through. That was what you are capable of when you actually show up. Imagine showing up like that every day. Not perfectly, not without bad days, but consistently, with intent, with discipline, with the understanding that you are building something, and that every single day you show up as another brick in the wall. Imagine who you become after a year of that. 5 years. 10. The math is not complicated. Show up every day. Do the work. Get a little better. Over and over. For long enough. It compounds. It always compounds. And the person on the other end of that process is someone at the current you would barely recognize. That person is who you're building toward. That person is worth every hard morning. Every uncomfortable choice, every night you chose the work over the rest, that person is with it. Go get better. Let's talk about what happens in your mind in the 1 second before you quit. Because that second is where everything is decided. You're in the middle of something hard.
25.
Your body is tired. Your mind is making a case for stopping. And in that 1 second, everything is on the table. The whole version of your life, where you kept going, is sitting right next to the version where you stopped. Both of them are available to you in that 1 second, and the part of your brain that wants to quit is loud. It is making a very convincing argument. It is telling you that you've done enough for today, that you deserve to rest, that tomorrow is soon enough, that the pain you're feeling right now is a signal to stop, not a signal to push through. And here is the thing.
I'll be right back.
Part of your brain is not lying to you. It genuinely believes it is protecting you. It is doing what it was designed to do, which is keep you safe and comfortable and alive. The problem is that the brain that was designed to keep you safe and comfortable was not designed for the life you're trying to build. Because the life you're trying to build requires you to walk through discomfort, not away from it. Stay in the fire long enough to come out the other side changed. And so in that 1 second, you have to override the part of you that wants to stop. Not forever, just right now, just this one time, and then again the next time, and the next time after that, until the override becomes the default, until staying in the hard thing becomes who you are instead of what you have to fight to do. Most people in this world are trying to stay comfortable. That is the primary pursuit for the majority of people. Stay comfortable, avoid pain, minimize risk, keep things stable. And there is nothing wrong with that as a way to live if that is what you want. But if you are watching this, that is not what you want. You want something else. You want to be exceptional. You want to build something real. You want to look back at your life and know that you did not leave anything on the field. And those two things, comfort and exceptional, do not live in the same place. You have to go to uncomfortable to find exceptional. You have to walk into the thing that scares you, to develop the muscle of doing things that scare you. You have to choose the hard path so many times that hard starts to feel like home. Because here is what nobody tells you. Once you get used to hard, everything else feels manageable. Once you have pushed through the thing you were sure was going to break you, nothing feels as unbeatable as it did before. You have proof. You have been tested and competitive. Not because it wasn't hard, because you chose to be harder than the hard thing in front of you. That is what you're building when you get better every day. You're not just building skill. You're not just building knowledge. You're building a version of yourself that can handle what's coming. And what's coming, whatever it is, whatever the next level of your life looks like, is going to require a bigger version of you than the one that exists right now. Get that version ready. Get better. There is a trap that a lot of people fall into when they start getting serious about building something. It's the trap of waiting to feel ready. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll commit when I feel like I know enough. I'll go all in when I have a little more confidence in myself. And the problem with that thinking is that ready is not a feeling you get before you start. Ready is a feeling you build by starting. You are never going to feel fully ready for the next level of your life, because the next level is bigger than the current version of you. If you felt fully ready, it wouldn't be the next level. It would just be more of the same. The discomfort you feel when you're about to do something bigger than you've done before, that's not a warning sign. That is the sign that you're going in the right direction. That is the feeling of growth. That is what it feels like to become someone you haven't been yet. So stop waiting for the feeling of ready. Take the action. Do the thing afraid. Figure it out as you go. Fail at it. Adjust. Try again. That is not recklessness. That is the actual process. That is how every person who's ever built anything worth having got there. Not by waiting until they were ready. By starting before they were and becoming ready through the doing. Stop broadcasting the plan. Stop performing the identity of someone who has their life together before you've actually put your life together. Get off the comment sections. Get out of the group chats about what everyone is going to do someday. Get off the content about getting your life together. And actually get your life together. Because there is a version of you that consumes all the right content, says all the right things, has all the right plans, and never actually builds anything. That person feels like they're working because they're busy. But busy is not the same as building. You know the difference when you're honest. You know when you're doing the thing and when you're talking about the thing. Do the thing. Cut the noise. Get back to the work. Every day. That's it. That's the whole message. That's the only thing that matters. Nobody is coming to save you. Waiting to give you your shot. Nobody is going to care about your potential until you turn it into something real. So stop waiting for someone to care. Nobody cares about your story, man. Nobody cares where you came from or what you've been through. You think people sitting around waiting to hear about your struggle? You think the world stops because you had it rough? The sun coming up tomorrow, whether you got a sad story or not. Life keeps moving, and it don't care about your past. Your story don't pay bills. Your story don't build nothing. Your story just words, and the world runs on action today. I see people every day talking about where they came from, talking about how hard they had it, talking about all the things that happened to them like that, supposed to mean something.
Do it. Another 10.
Like that, supposed to
Another
excuse
10
where they are
sets.
right now.
Let's get another 10 sets of burpees in.
Okay.
We got 10 sets down.
Okay.
Another
You didn't
10.
have parents around.
Come on.
Okay. And what now? What you doing with that information? You just gonna carry it around like a badge? You gonna tell that story for the rest of your life, or you gonna write a new chapter? See, most people, they get stuck in their story. They're living in chapter 3 when they should be writing chapter 20. They tell everybody about what happened 10 years ago instead of building what happens tomorrow. Your story already happened. It's done. It's finished. You can't change it and you can't go back to it. The only thing you've got control over is right now, this moment. What you're doing right now, what you're building right now, what you're becoming right now. You want people to care about something? Give them something to care about. Show them results. Show them progress. Show them somebody who took all that pain and turned it into power. Show them somebody who had nothing and built something. That's what people care about. Not your excuses, not your reasons, not your explanation for why you ain't where you're supposed to be. They care about what you did despite everything. They care about the comeback, not the setback. I talk to people all the time and they start every conversation with their story. Hi, my name is this, and let me tell you why I'm not successful.
15.
Let me tell you about my trauma. Let me tell you about my circumstances. And I'm sitting there like, okay, but what are you doing today? What did you do this morning? Did you wake up early? Did you work on your skills? Did you study? Did you train? Did you build? Or did you just wake up and start telling your story again? There's this thing people do when they think their story gives them permission to stay stuck. Like because you had it hard, you're supposed to keep having it hard. Like because you started at the bottom, you're supposed to stay at the bottom. That's not how it works. Your story is supposed to be fuel. Your story is supposed to be the reason you go harder than everybody else. You came from nothing. That should make you hungry, not hopeless. You faced obstacles. That should make you tougher, not weaker. You got knocked down. That should teach you how to get back up, not how to stay down. Winners don't talk about their story until after they win. You know why? Because they're too busy writing the ending. They're too busy working. They're too busy grinding when everybody else is sleeping. They're too busy learning and improving and pushing themselves to the limit. They don't got time to sit around explaining why they're not there yet. They're just focused on getting there. The story comes later. The story is what you tell after you made it, not while you're still struggling. You think Kobe Bryant was in the gym at 4 in the morning telling people his story? No, he was working, he was shooting, he was perfecting his craft. The story came after the championships, after the legendary career, after he had something to show for all that work. That's when the story matters. When you can point to something real and say, look, this is what I built despite everything. Your story don't make you special. You know what makes you special. What you do with your story, how you respond to it, how you use it, how you transform it into something. Struggle is common. Hard times are common. Everybody got a story. Everybody been through something. The difference between winners and losers is what they do with that story. Winners use it as fuel. Losers use it as an excuse. I grew up with people who had the same story as me. Same neighborhood. Same struggles. Same lack of resources. You know where most of them at now. Same place they started. still telling the same story, still talking about how hard they had it, still waiting for somebody to feel sorry for them, still expecting the world to care about their circumstances, and the world just because the world don't stop for your story. The world keeps moving. You either move with it or you get left behind. Stop waiting for people to understand your story. Stop waiting for people to acknowledge your struggle. Stop waiting for people to give you credit for what you've been through. Nobody cares. They got their own problems. They got their own struggles. They got their own story. They're not sitting around thinking about yours. They're worried about their own life, their own bills, their own family, their own goals. You think your boss cares about your story when you're late to work. You think your customers care about your story when you don't deliver. You think success cares about your story when you're not putting in the work. The only person who needs to care about your story is you. And you need to care enough about it to change it, to rewrite it, to make the next chapter better than the last. You need to care enough to stop being the victim of your story and start being the hero. Stop being the person things happen to and start being the person who makes things happen. That's the only way your story matters. When you take control of it. I see people on social media every day posting their story, writing long captions about their struggle, talking about their journey. And I'm thinking, okay, cool, but what are you doing today? What actions are you taking? Because all I see is words. All I see is explanations. All I see is somebody telling me why they're not where they want to be instead of showing me the work they're putting in to get there. Your story don't mean nothing if it's not followed by action. It's just noise. You want to know what really matters. What are you doing right now? Are you working or complaining? Are you building or explaining? Are you moving forward or looking backward? Because you can't do both. You can't be focused on your past and your future at the same time. You got to pick one. You got to decide if you're going to let your story define you or if you're going to define yourself by what you do next. Most people, they love their story more than they love success. They're more comfortable being the person who had it hard than being the person who made it. Because being the person who had it hard is easy. It requires nothing. You just tell the story and wait for sympathy. But being the person who made it, that requires work. That requires sacrifice. That requires you to stop talking and start doing. That requires you to let go of the identity you built around your struggle and build a new identity around your success. And that's scary for people, because they don't know who they are without their story. They've been holding on to it for so long. They've been using it to explain everything for so long. They've been hiding behind it for so long. What happens when you take
25.
What happens when you can't use your past as an excuse anymore? What happens when you got to stand on your own 2 feet and be responsible for your present and future? That's when you find out what you're really made of. I don't care where you came from. I care where you're going. I don't care what happened to you. I care what you're doing about it. I don't care about your excuses. I care about your execution. Show me what you're working on. Show me what you're building. Show me what you're learning. Show me what you're becoming. That's what I want to see. That's what the world wants to see right now. Not your story. Your results. You think people hiring you because of your story? No. They're hiring you because of your skills. Because of what you can do for them. Because of the value you bring. Your story makes empathy, but it won't get you success. Success comes from work, from competence, from being so good at what you do that people can't ignore you. That's what opens doors. Not your background, not your circumstances, not your explanation for why you started late or why you had disadvantages. What opens doors is being undeniable. Stop introducing yourself with your limitations. Stop telling people all the reasons why you might not succeed. Stop giving people a reason to doubt you before you even start. When you walk into a room, you think winners are talking about what they don't have. No, they're talking about what they're going to do. They're talking about their vision. They're talking about their work ethic. They're talking about their commitment. They're not asking for special treatment because of where they came from. They're demanding respect because of where they're going. Your story is not your identity. Your story is your starting point. It's the beginning, not the end. It's where you're from, not where you have to stay. You get to write the rest. You get to decide how this goes. You get to choose whether your story is a tragedy or a triumph. But you don't get to choose by talking about it. You choose by what you do, every single day. With every decision, with every action, That's how you write your story. I was nothing, man. I came from nothing. I had every excuse in the book. I could sit here right now and tell you my story, and you'd probably feel bad for me. You'd probably think, wow, you really had it rough. But I don't want your sympathy. I never wanted your sympathy. What I wanted was success. And I knew the only way to get it was to stop talking about where I came from and start working on where I was going. I knew my story didn't matter. My work mattered. My dedication mattered. My refusing to quit mattered. That's it. When you stop hiding behind your story, you become dangerous. Because now you've got nothing to lose. Now you can't use your past as a crutch. Now you've got to be real with yourself about what you're doing today. Are you really working as hard as you say you are? Are you really committed? Are you really willing to do what it takes? Or are you just comfortable playing the role of somebody who had it hard? Because that role is safe. That role gets you attention. That role lets you avoid the real work. The real work is uncomfortable. The real work is waking up at 5 in the morning when your body wants to sleep. The real work is studying when your friends are out having fun. The real work is training when you're tired. The real work is building your skills when nobody believes in you yet. The real work is showing up every single day, even when you don't see results yet. That's the real work. And your story don't help you do any of that. Only you can do that. People ask me all the time how I stay motivated, how I keep going, how I don't quit, and I tell them it's simple. I remember that nobody cares about my story. Nobody's coming to save me. Nobody's going to do the work for me. Nobody's going to give me success because I had it hard. If I want something, I got to go get it. If I want to change my life, I got to change my actions. If I want a different result, I got to put in different work. That's what keeps me going. Not my story, my hunger. You got two choices right now. You can keep telling your story and stay where you're at. Or you can shut up and start working and see where that takes you. You can keep explaining why you're not there yet, or you can start building toward getting there. You can keep looking for people to understand you, or you can start focusing on people respecting what you accomplish. It's your choice, but you got to make it, because time is passing, days are going by, and every day you spend talking about yesterday is a day you're not working on tomorrow. Your story is a gift if you use it right. It's a way to let it become your identity. Use it to fuel you, not define you. Use it to push you, not limit you. Use it to remind you where you never want to be again. Use it to show you how far you've come. But don't use it to explain why you're not moving forward. Don't use it to justify staying comfortable. Don't use it to ask for special treatment. The world gives nothing for free. You want something, you got to earn it. See, the problem with most people is they want credit for their struggle without results from their effort. They want you to respect how hard they had it, but they don't want to do the hard work to get out of it. They want acknowledgement for their pain, but they don't want to do what it takes to heal from it. They want everyone to know their story, but they don't want to change their story. That's not how this works. You don't get points for suffering. You get points for overcoming. You don't get respect for struggling. You get respect for winning despite the struggle. I meet people who've been talking about the same problems for 5 years. Same story, same complaints, same excuses. And I'm thinking, how are you still here? How have you not figured this out yet? How have you not gotten tired of your own story? But they're comfortable with it. They know that story. They practice that story. They perfected that story. What they haven't done is worked on changing that story. What they haven't done is put in the hours to write a new chapter. What they haven't done is commit to being somebody different. I see people with amazing stories who do nothing with them. They got this incredible journey that could inspire millions, but they stuck telling it to the same 5 people. They could turn that pain into purpose, but they rather get sympathy than success. They could show the world what's possible when you refuse to quit, but they rather show the world why they have an excuse to quit. What a waste. What a waste of potential. What a waste of all that strength you built going through what you went through. If you've been through hell, you're supposed to come out the other side stronger. You're supposed to come out with a story that matters because you did something with it. You climbed out of the pit. You built something from nothing. You turned your pain into power. That's a story worth telling. But you can't tell that story until you live it. You can't inspire people with what you went through if you're still stuck in what you went through. You got to get first. You got to win first. You've got to succeed first. Then your story has power. Then your story has meaning. Then your story can change lives. But right now, while you're still struggling, your story just an excuse. Right now, while you're still at the bottom, your story just an explanation. Right now, while you're still not where you want to be, your story just noise. Work in silence. Grind in private. Build with nobody watching. Let your results speak for you. Let your success tell your story. Let your accomplishments show people what you overcame. That's when your story matters. When it's attached to something real. When it's backed up by action. When it's proof of what's possible. Nobody cares about potential. Nobody cares about what you could be, or what you might become, or what you would do if things were different. They care about what you are right now. What you're doing right now. What you build right now. Potential is just a nice word for nothing yet. It's a nice way of saying you're not there. Well, stop being potential and start being actual. Stop being maybe and start being definitely. Stop being someday and start being today. Your story is supposed to make you humble, not helpless. It's supposed to keep you grounded, not keep you down. It's supposed to remind you where you came from, so you appreciate where you're going. Not so you stay where you came from. Use your story as a reference point, not a residence. Visit it, but don't live there. Learn from it, but don't dwell in it. Respect it, but don't worship it. Because your past is not your prison, unless you make it one. The strongest people I know had the hardest stories, but you wouldn't know it by talking to them. Because they don't lead with their pain, they lead with their purpose. They don't tell you what happened to them. They show you what they built despite what happened to them. They don't ask for your pity, they demand your respect. They don't want you to feel sorry for them. They want you to be inspired by them. That's the difference. That's what separates people who use their story as a crutch from people who use their story as fuel. You want respect, earn it. You want success, build it. You want people to care, give them something to care about. Your story alone ain't enough. Your struggle alone ain't enough. Your pain alone ain't enough. What you do with that is what counts. How you respond is what matters. How you fight back is what you remember, not what knocked you down. What you did to get back up. That's what creates legends. That's what builds legacies. That's what changes everything. Stop waiting for the world to change for you. Stop waiting for circumstances to get better. Stop waiting for somebody to give you a chance. Stop waiting for people to understand your situation. Stop waiting for permission to succeed. Nobody's going to give you that. You got to take it. You got to demand it through your work. You got to earn it through your commitment. You got to prove it through your results. That's the only way this works. You sitting around waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for everything to line up, waiting for all your ducks to be in a row, waiting for the right time. Let me tell you something. There is no right time. There's only right now. There's only this moment. You either take it or you don't. You either move or you stay stuck. You either stop building or you keep planning. The perfect moment is a myth that people use to avoid taking action. The perfect moment is an excuse that sounds reasonable but keeps you paralyzed. Your story don't prepare you for success. Your work prepares you for success. Your story might give you motivation, but motivation fades. What lasts is discipline. What lasts is the daily grind. What lasts is showing up when you don't feel like it. What lasts is putting in work when nobody's watching. What lasts is staying consistent when results aren't showing yet. That's what builds success. Not your story, your habits, your dedication, your refusal to quit when it gets hard. I don't care if you came from the streets or came from privilege. I don't care if you had everything or had nothing. I don't care if life gave you a head start or held you back. What I care about is what you're doing with the time you've got left. Because time is the only thing that matters. Time is the only thing that's equal. Everybody gets 24 hours. What you do with those 24 hours determines everything. You can spend them telling your story or building your future. You can spend them explaining your past or creating your destiny. You can spend them looking for sympathy or working for success. Most people waste their time. They waste it on things that don't matter. They waste it being comfortable. They waste it avoiding the hard work. They waste it making excuses. They waste it telling their story to anybody who will listen. And then they wonder why nothing changes. They wonder why they're still in the same place year after year. They wonder why other people are passing them by. It's because those other people are working while you're talking. Those other people are building while you're explaining. Those other people are focused on tomorrow while you're stuck in yesterday. You got people out here who spent more time crafting their victim story than they spent working on their success story. They know every detail of what went wrong, but they don't know what they need to do to make it right. They can tell you about every person who hurt them, but they can't tell you about the skills they built. They can explain every reason why they're not where they want to be, but they can't explain what they're doing today to change that. That's backwards. That's why they stop. Winners think different. Winners don't waste energy on the past. They don't waste time explaining themselves. They don't waste breath making excuses. They know every minute spent on that is a minute not spent on building. Every conversation about their struggle is a conversation they could have spent.
Woo!
Every post about their
25. What happened here?
Every single day, people lie to themselves. They say, I'll do it tomorrow. It's a comforting thought, isn't it? Tomorrow is not guaranteed. You've been sold a lie that there's always more time, but the reality is harsh and unyielding.
All right,
Every
man.
second you wait is a
5
second
more
you'll never
sets.
get back.
Let's get them in.
Every opportunity to
I
pass
want
on
to quit
today
already.
might never come
So I
again.
gotta hurry up and bang out this last
Right
5
now.
because
As you're
I'm
reading
tired
this,
of doing this already.
someone else is taking the action you've been delaying. They're doing the work. They're building the life you're only dreaming about. And if you're not careful, they're going to take everything you want simply because they didn't wait. So ask yourself, what are you waiting for? What's stopping you from starting right now? The excuses you've been holding on to, They're not real. The fear you let control you, it's an illusion. Today is the only day you have. This moment is the only moment you own. And if you waste it, you might never get another chance. It's time to stop dreaming about what could be and start creating what will be. The future doesn't belong to the idle. It belongs to the bold. It belongs to those who understand that there is no tomorrow. There is only today, only now, and only the choice to act. Think about how many times you've said, I'll start tomorrow. Maybe it was about getting in shape, starting a business, writing that book, or making amends with someone you care about. You convinced yourself that tomorrow would be different. You told yourself you'd wake up feeling motivated, ready to tackle everything you've been putting off. But what happened when tomorrow came? Did you start? Or did you find another excuse to delay? The truth is, tomorrow is a mirage. It's a comforting illusion that lets you avoid responsibility for today. And the more you buy into it, the further you drift from the life you want. Every day you wait, you're training yourself to accept mediocrity. You're teaching your mind that it's okay to settle, to push things off, to live in a perpetual state of hesitation. And the more you do this, the harder it becomes to break free. Procrastination is not a harmless habit, it's a disease. It eats away at your potential, one moment at a time, until there's nothing left. The most dangerous word in the world isn't failure, it's tomorrow. Because tomorrow is where dreams go to die. Tomorrow is the graveyard of opportunities you were too scared to take. Don't let your dreams become casualties of your inaction. Don't let the lie of tomorrow steal your future. Be honest with yourself. Why haven't you started? What's holding you back? Maybe you're waiting for the perfect moment. You think you'll act when the timing is right, when you have more resources, when you feel more confident. But here's the reality. The perfect moment doesn't exist. Conditions will never be ideal. There will always be obstacles, doubts, and challenges. If you're waiting for the stars to align, you're going to be waiting forever. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act. It comes to those who decide that their dreams are worth more than their excuses. Stop permission to start. Stop waiting for someone to come along and tell you it's okay to chase your goals. No one is going to hand you the life you want. You have to take it. You have to fight for it. And the fight starts today. Every day you delay, you're paying a price. And that price is steep. It's the opportunities you'll never get back. It's the relationships you'll never build. It's the skills you'll never develop. Time is the most precious resource you have. And once it's gone forever. Imagine looking back on your life and realizing that waiting for the right moment, waiting for motivation, waiting for a sign. Imagine the regret of knowing you could have done so much more if only you'd started sooner. Don't let that be your story. Don't let procrastination rob you of the life you deserve. The cost of waiting is too high. It's time to stop paying it. It's time to invest in your future by acting today. Breaking the cycle of procrastination isn't easy, but it's possible. It starts with a simple decision. The decision to act. Here are some practical steps to help you get started. Define what you want to achieve. Be specific. Write it down. Clarity creates focus, and focus drives action. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to do everything at once. Take one small step today, then another tomorrow. Momentum builds over time. Share your goals with someone you trust. Let them hold you accountable. Knowing that someone else is watching can be a powerful motivator. Identify the things that are holding you back and remove them. Whether it's social media, TV, or negative influences, cut them out of your life. Don't wait until you feel ready or everything is perfect. Start now, even if it's messy. Progress is better than perfection. Action is the antidote to fear. It's the cure for procrastination. When you take action, you prove to yourself that you're capable. Build confidence. Create momentum. And with momentum, anything is possible. Every great achievement in history started with a single step. The
What?
people who change the world aren't the ones who sit around waiting.
Yeah.
They're the ones who get up, show up, and do the work. They're the ones who understand that action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Start imagining what your life could look like if you made the choice today. Visualize yourself in a year's time, reflecting on the decision you made to take action. Imagine the pride you would feel knowing that you seized the moment, that you didn't let fear hold you back, and that you refused to let the illusion of tomorrow dictate your destiny. The reality is, the things you want are closer than you think, but they won't come to you. You have to chase them. You have to make sacrifices, put in the work, and stay committed even when it's hard. The most successful people aren't the ones who never face challenges. They're the ones who face them head on, who failed and got back up, who never gave up because they understood the value of today. Right now, you have a choice. You can sit back and keep waiting, or you can stand up and take control. You can let life pass you by, or you can grab it with both hands and make something incredible out of it. Power is in your hands, but you have to be willing to use it. This is your moment. This is your chance. There is no tomorrow. There is only today. There is only now. What are you going to do with it? The choice is yours. You can keep waiting, keep dreaming, and keep hoping. Or you can take action and start building the life you've always wanted. The world is waiting for you. Your future is waiting for you. Don't let it stay. Rise up, take control, and remember, the only time you truly have is this moment. Make it. Let me tell you something right now. Nothing worth having comes easy. You've heard it before, but have you really let it sink in? Success isn't handed out for free. It's earned with blood, sweat, and it's forged in those early mornings when the alarm clock screams and you have to decide whether to hit snooze or hit the ground running. The grind is what separates the winners from the quitters. The grind is where you find out what you're made of. It's in the hours no one sees, the effort no one acknowledges, and the sacrifices no one else is willing to make. That's where greatness is born. But let me be clear, grinding isn't just about working hard. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every single day, whether you feel like it or not. It's about pushing past pain, ignoring distractions, and staying focused on the goal, no matter how far away it seems. That's the grind, and the grind will pay off. If you're ready to stop dreaming and start grinding, hit that subscribe button now. Let's build your path to greatness together. Let's go. You know what most people get wrong? They think success is about motivation. They wait for that spark of inspiration to get started. But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the wind. Discipline, on the other hand, is unshakable. It's what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. Discipline is waking up early when your body screams for sleep. Discipline is saying no to temptations when everyone around you is indulgent. Discipline is doing the work when you're tired, frustrated, and overwhelmed. Ask yourself, are you disciplined? Are you doing what needs to be done, even when it's hard, boring, or uncomfortable? If the answer is no, then you've already found the problem. The grind doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your excuses. If you're serious about success, discipline isn't optional. It's mandatory. Let's get real for a moment. The grind isn't pretty. It's not glamorous. It's going to hurt. You're going to have to give things up. Time with friends, late nights out, endless hours scrolling on your phone. Sacrifice is the price of admission to success. You can't have everything. If you want something extraordinary, you have to be willing to give up the ordinary. That means skipping the party to study for that exam. It means working overtime on your side hustle while everyone else is binge watching the latest TV series. It means saying no to what's easy so you can say yes to what's worthwhile. You think Kobe Bryant became one of the greatest basketball players by taking it easy? You think Elon Musk built billion-dollar companies by sitting back and relaxing? No. They sacrificed. They worked when others rested. They grinded when others quit. And now, their success speaks for itself. One workout won't get you in shape. One productive day won't make you successful. One act of discipline won't change your life. It's what you do consistently that matters. Consistency is the glue that holds the grind together. It's showing up day after day, week after week, year after year. It's putting in the effort, even when you don't see immediate results. Consistency is doing the right thing over and over again until success becomes inevitable. But here's the catch. Consistency is hard.
25.
It's repetitive. And that's exactly why most people fail. They get excited, start strong, and then fizzle out when the grind gets tough. Don't be like that. Commit to consistency. Be relentless. Be unshakable. Because the grind will pay off, but only if you stick with it. Your mindset is everything. It's the difference between quitting and persevering, between giving up and giving your all. If you don't believe you can succeed, you've already lost. The grind is just as much mental as it is physical. It's about training your mind to push past limits, to embrace challenges, and to see failure as a stepping stone to success. When your body wants to quit, your mind has to say, not today. When obstacles block your path, your mind has to find a way around them. You are your biggest enemy and your greatest ally. Control your thoughts, and you control your destiny. Adopt a winner's mindset. See every setback as an opportunity. See every challenge as a chance to prove yourself. And remember this, the only thing standing between you and success is the story you keep telling yourself. Change the story, and you change your life. Let me tell you what's waiting for you on the other side of the grind. It's not just success. It's not just money, fame, or recognition. It's pride. It's the satisfaction of knowing you gave it your all. It's the confidence that comes from earning everything you have. The grind will teach you more than any book, class, or ever could. It will teach you resilience. It will teach you patience. It will teach you the value of hard work. These lessons will stay with you for life, shaping you into the kind of person who can achieve anything. And when you finally reach your goals, you'll look back on the grind with gratitude. You'll realize that the struggle wasn't a barrier to success. It was the foundation of it. The grind will pay off. It always does. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to take control of your life? Are you going to quit when it gets hard, or are you going to push through the pain? Are you going to let fear hold you back, or are you going to rise to the challenge? The grind isn't easy, but it's worth it. Every drop of sweat, every late night, every early morning, it all adds up. It all matters. And one day, when you've achieved what you once thought was impossible, you'll look back and say, I'm glad I didn't give up. Keep grinding, keep pushing, keep believing, because the grind will pay off. Let's face it, the grind can feel lonely. When you're chasing a goal, you might find yourself walking a path that few others understand. While your friends are out having fun, you're at home working on your dream. While others are taking it easy, you're putting in the hours. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Understand this. Not everyone will get it. Not everyone will support you. Some people will call you crazy. They'll say you're wasting your time. They'll laugh at your dedication. That's fine. Let them. Because one day, they'll be the ones clapping for you when you've made it. The grind separates you from the crowd, and that's the point. If you want extraordinary results, you can't live an ordinary life. You have to make peace with the loneliness, the sacrifices, and the hard decisions. Remember, the grind isn't a punishment, it's a privilege. It's your ticket to greatness. Here's the truth about the grind. It's going to test you. It's going to push you to your limits. There will be days when you feel like you're making no progress. Days when you question whether it's all worth it. Days when you want to quit. Expect setbacks. Expect failures. Expect moments of doubt. That's all part of the process. But here's the
25.
thing. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. Every failure is a chance to learn. Every obstacle is a test of your commitment. Don't let the challenges break you. Let them build you. Let them make you stronger, tougher, and more determined. Embrace the struggle, because the struggle is what makes the success worth it. Let me tell you something about hard work. It's undefeated. You can have all the talent in the world, but without hard work, it means nothing. Talent might give you a head start, but hard work will take you across the finish line. There's no shortcut to success. There's no magic formula. The only way to get where you want to go is to put in the work. You have to outwork the competition. You have to outwork your excuses. You have to outwork your doubts. Hard work isn't glamorous. It's not fun. But it's the price you pay for greatness. And the best part? Hard work is something you can control. You might not be the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented, but you can always be the hardest worker in the room. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting instant results. They put in a week of work and get frustrated when they don't see progress. But the grind doesn't work like that. Success takes time. It takes patience. It takes persistence. Think of it like planting a seed. You water it, you care for it. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the process. The grind is the same way. You have to put in the work, day to day, and trust that the results will come. Patience isn't about sitting back and waiting. It's about working hard while staying focused on the long-term vision.
All right.
It's about
Last
understanding
set
that
of
great
burpees.
things take time.
All right.
So,
25 coming
keep
up.
grinding. Keep watering the seed. The harvest will come. Excuses are the enemy of success. They're the little lies you tell yourself to avoid responsibility. I'm too tired. I don't have enough time. I'll start tomorrow. Stop. Stop making excuses. Stop letting them hold you back. The truth is, you have the time. You have the energy. You have what it takes. The only thing standing between you and your goals is you. So, take ownership of your life. Take responsibility for your actions. And stop looking for excuses. When you eliminate excuses, you eliminate limits. You free yourself to focus on what matters. You take control of your destiny. So the next time you catch yourself making an excuse, remember this. You're better than that. You're capable of more. Keep grinding. Here's the most beautiful thing about the grind. It's not just about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. The grind transforms you. It molds you into a stronger, smarter, and more resilient version of yourself. Every challenge you overcome, every sacrifice you make, every hour you put in, it all adds up. It shapes your character. It builds your confidence. It gives you the tools to handle anything life throws at you. The grind isn't just about reaching a goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who can achieve anything. So, don't just grind for the results. Grind for the growth. Grind for the transformation. Grind for the person you're destined to become. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? What do you want people to remember about you? When it's all said and done, will they see you as someone who settled for average? Someone who reached for greatness? Your grind isn't just about you. It's about your family, your community, and everyone who looks up to you. It's about proving that hard work pays off. It's about inspiring others to chase their dreams. Every decision you make is a chapter in your story. Every sacrifice, every victory, every lesson learned, it's all part of your legacy. So, make it count. Write a story that you'll be proud to tell. Keep grinding. Greatness doesn't come cheap.
That's 25.
And sacrifice,
Ooh, that's 500
discipline,
burpees.
and an unrelenting commitment to the grind. Think about it. Why do so few people achieve greatness? It's not because they lack. It's because they're not willing to pay the price. Greatness will cost you late nights and early mornings. It will cost you comfort and convenience. It will cost you friendships, social outings, and the approval of others. But here's the truth. The price of greatness is always worth it. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. When you feel like quitting, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the vision you're chasing, the goals you've set, and the life you want to create. Greatness isn't for the faint of heart, but if you're willing to pay the price, it's yours for the taking. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Many people let failure define them. They let one mistake, setback, or one loss convince them to give up. But failure is only final if you let it be. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity to grow. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by avoiding failure. They got there by learning from it. They got there by failing forward. Don't fear failure. Fear standing still. Fear never trying. Fear looking back on your life and wondering what could have been. Failure isn't the end. It's a stepping stone. Embrace it. Learn from it. Use it as fuel for your fire. Because the grind will pay off, but only if you're brave enough to fail along the way. You can't grind without a clear vision. You need to know where you're going and why you're going there. Your vision is your compass. It's what keeps you focused when distractions arise. What keeps you moving forward when the road gets tough. What do you want out of life? What are you grinding for? Get specific. Write it down. Picture it in your mind every single day. The clearer your vision, the stronger your motivation. A vision isn't just about setting goals. It's about creating a picture of your future that's so vivid, so compelling, that you can't help but chase it. Let your vision be your guide. Let it be your reminder that the grind is worth it. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And nothing builds confidence like the grind. Every time you show up, every time you push through, every time you do the work, you're proving to yourself that you're capable. And that's where real confidence comes from. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about believing in yourself, in your abilities, and in your potential. It's about knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you have what it takes to overcome it. The grind is the ultimate confidence builder. It's where you find your strength, your resilience, and your belief in yourself. So, keep grinding. Keep proving to yourself that you're unstoppable. Because confidence is earned, not given. Distractions are everywhere. Social media, Netflix, endless scrolling. It's all designed to pull your attention away from what really matters. If you want to succeed, you have to learn to focus. You have to cut out the noise and zero in on your goals. Focus isn't just about working hard. It's about working smart. It's about prioritizing what's important and ignoring what's not. It's about saying no to the things that don't serve your vision, even when they're empty. Ask yourself, what's distracting you? What's holding you back? Identify it. Eliminate it. Focus on what matters. Because every second you spend on distractions, second you're stealing from your dreams. The grind doesn't mean isolating people you love. It's about finding a balance between pursuing your goals and nurturing your relationships. The right people will understand your grind. They'll support you, encourage you, and push you to the best. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not drag you down. Find your tribe, the ones who believe in your vision and are willing to cheer you on, even when the journey gets tough. At the same time, don't neglect the relationships that matter. Success is meaningless if you don't have anyone to share it with. The grind is important, but so are the people who stand by you through it all. The grind can feel endless if you don't take the time to acknowledge your progress. Success isn't just about reaching the finish line. It's about celebrating the milestones along the way. Did you wake up early today? Did you stick to your plan? Did you push through a tough workout or complete a challenging project? Celebrate it. Recognize your effort and reward yourself for the small wins. Small wins build momentum. They remind you that the grind is working, that you're moving closer to your goals every single day. So don't wait for the big victories to celebrate. Find joy in the journey. The grind will pay off, but only if you commit to it. Only if you embrace the struggle, the sacrifice, and the setbacks. Only if you believe in yourself and refuse to give up. The journey isn't easy, but nothing worthwhile ever is. So what are you waiting for? Start now. Start today. Show up, put in the work, and keep it. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that every drop of sweat, every late night, and every early morning was worth it. The grind. Keep going. Every morning when you wake up, there's one person waiting. They know your fears, your excuses, and your untapped potential. That person isn't your coworker, your neighbor, or a stranger. That person is you. On one side stands the version of you who takes the easy way out, the one who procrastinates, doubts, and hides from discomfort. On the other side stands the version of you who is relentless, unstoppable, and capable of achieving greatness. The question is, which version of you will win today? This is the most important battle you'll ever face. You versus you. It's a battle that shapes your happiness, success, and legacy. Let's get one thing straight. No one owes you anything. Life doesn't owe you success. No one is going to hand you your dreams. There's no magical shortcut. No lucky break waiting just around the corner. It's all on you. Yes, life can be fair. Yes, you'll face obstacles. But here's the truth. The biggest obstacle isn't out there in the world. It's not the economy, your upbringing, or someone else's opinion of you. The biggest obstacle is you. It's the excuses you make, the fears you let control you, and the habits that hold you back. The moment you stop blaming the world and take responsibility for your life is the moment everything changes. You have the power. You have the control. And only you can decide how far you'll go, how hard you'll work, and how much you'll grow. Every day you face a simple test. It doesn't require a classroom, a teacher, or a grade. It's called the mirror test. When you look at yourself in the mirror, can you honestly say, I gave it my all today? Can you say, I'm proud of the person I see? The mirror doesn't lie. It reflects the truth, showing you exactly who you are, not who you pretend to be. Every day you have a choice. Will you be proud of the reflection staring back at you? Or will you look away, knowing you could have done more, tried harder, and been better? The mirror test isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about proving to yourself day after day that you're moving closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Some people spend their entire lives looking for someone to blame. It's my boss's fault I'm not promoted. It's my parents' fault I didn't have a better start. It's the system's fault I can't get ahead. Stop. Just stop. The truth is, you are your greatest opponent. It's not your boss, your parents, or the system holding you back. It's the version of you who makes excuses, who says, I'll start tomorrow, who chooses Netflix over the gym, fear over action, comfort over growth. If you want to win the battle of life, you have to defeat that version of yourself. You have to outwork, outthink, and outlast the weaker you. And it won't happen overnight. This isn't a battle you fight once. It's a battle you'll fight every day. The good news, you don't have to win every time. You just have to keep showing up. Transformation doesn't happen in one big, dramatic moment. It doesn't come from a new job, a life-altering decision, or a lucky break. Transformation happens in the small moments. It's the little choices you make every day. Getting out of bed instead of hitting snooze. Saying no to junk food and yes to a healthier choice. Spending an hour learning a new skill instead of scrolling through social media. These small wins might seem insignificant in the moment, but they add up. Each one builds momentum. Each one strengthens your discipline. And over time, those small wins turn into big change. So don't wait for the perfect moment to start. Start now. Make one small decision today, then another tomorrow. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Here's a truth most people avoid. Growth is uncomfortable, it's messy, it's hard, it hurts, and that's exactly why so many people avoid it. Why do people quit the gym? Because it's easier to sit on the couch. Why do people stay in jobs they hate? Because it's safer than taking a risk. Why do people give up on their dreams? Because chasing them means facing failure, rejection, and uncertainty. But discomfort is the price of growth. Every time, whether it's a tough workout, a challenging project, or a difficult conversation, you're building resilience. You're proving to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. So don't run from discomfort. Lean into it. Because on the other side of discomfort is everything you've ever wanted. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? How many dreams have you put on hold, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect circumstances? Here's the harsh reality. Someday doesn't exist. It's a lie we tell ourselves to avoid taking action. The perfect moment will never come. And if you keep waiting for someday, you'll wake up one day and realize you've run out of time. The only time you have is now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. So stop waiting. Stop procrastinating. Start doing. Because every day you delay is a day you'll never get back. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in life. When you start taking action, even in small ways, you create a ripple effect. One workout leads to another. One project leads to a bigger opportunity. One step out of your comfort zone leads to exponential growth. But momentum works both ways. If you stay stuck, if you give in to laziness, you create negative momentum. The longer you stay in bed, the harder it is to get up. The longer you avoid your goals, the more impossible they seem. The choice is yours. Positive momentum or negative momentum. Growth or stagnation. Start small. Start today. And let momentum carry you forward. There's no universal formula for success. What works for someone else might not work for you. And that's perfectly okay. Your journey is your own. It's as unique as your fingerprint, and no one else can walk it for you. Stop comparing your progress to others. Stop measuring your success by someone else's timeline. The only comparison that matters is between who you are today and who you were yesterday. Growth isn't about being better than someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Ask yourself, what does success mean to me? Is it financial freedom? Creative expression? Making a difference in the lives of others? Once you have your answer, chart your own course. And don't be afraid to make mistakes or take detours. The important thing is that you keep moving forward, one step at a time. Success doesn't require perfection, but it does require consistency. The simple act of showing up day after day, when it's hard, is what separates the achievers from the dreamers. There will be days when you're tired, discouraged, or tempted to quit. Show up anyway. There will be days when you don't feel it. Show up anyway. Because every time you show up, you're reinforcing the habits that lead to success. You're proving to yourself that you can be trusted to follow through. Even on your worst days, when progress feels slow and the finish line seems far away. Remember this: the mere act of showing up is a victory. Keep showing up, and success will take care of itself. To have role models, people who motivate you and remind you of what's possible. But the most powerful inspiration comes from within. Every time you push through fear, overcome a challenge, or achieve a goal, you're creating proof of your own strength. Think back to a moment when you felt unstoppable. Maybe it was acing a test, completing a difficult project, or crushing a fitness milestone. Those moments are reminders of what you're capable of. They're the fuel that keeps you going when things get tough. The more you prove yourself to yourself, the more unstoppable you become. Don't just look for inspiration. Be it. Be the kind of person who inspires others simply by showing up for yourself every single day. Gratitude is a game changer. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. You stop dwelling on what you lack and start appreciating what you have. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about fueling action. When you're grateful for the opportunities you have, you're more likely to seize them. When you're grateful for the lessons failure teaches you, you're more likely to keep going. Gratitude keeps you grounded, motivated, and resilient. Start a daily gratitude practice. Each morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Something as simple as a sunny day, a supportive friend, or the chance to try again is enough. Gratitude doesn't just change your perspective, it changes your life. Everyone hits plateaus in their journey. It's that frustrating stage where you're putting in the work, but the results aren't showing. It's tempting to give up, but plateaus are where real growth happens. A plateau isn't a dead end. It's a test of your perseverance. It's a chance to prove to yourself that you're willing to push harder, dig deeper, and keep going, even when it's tough. Hit a plateau, don't get discouraged. Get curious. Ask yourself, what can I do differently? What's holding me back? What needs to try? And most importantly, remind yourself that growth is still happening, even if you can't see it yet. The work you're putting in now is laying the foundation for a breakthrough. Fear is a powerful force. It can you, keeping you stuck in the same place, or it can propel you forward, pushing you to grow. The difference lies in how you respond to it. Most fears are rooted in the unknown. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if... But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. It exaggerates the risks and minimizes your potential. It tells you to play smart, stay safe, and avoid discomfort. The only way to overcome it is to face it. Take the first step, even if your knees are shaking. Lean into the discomfort, even if it feels overwhelming. Every time you confront your fears, you weaken their grip on you. With each victory, you become braver, stronger, and more unstoppable. Complacency is the silent killer of progress. The moment you start coasting, the moment you stop striving, is the moment you stop growing. To keep proving yourself, you must stay hungry. Hunger for growth doesn't mean dissatisfaction. It doesn't mean you can't celebrate your successes or enjoy the journey. It means refusing to settle. It means continually seeking the next challenge, the next goal, the next level. Hunger comes from understanding that there's always more to learn, more to achieve, and more to give. No matter how far you've come, you've only scratched the surface of your potential. Stay hungry, and the best is always yet to come. At the end of your life, what will you leave behind? What stories will people tell about you? What impact will you have made? These are the questions that define your legacy. Legacy isn't about fame or fortune. It's about the difference you make, the lives you touch, and the example you set. Your legacy starts now, with the choices you make today. It's built in the moments when no one is watching, in the decisions you make when it would be easier to give up. When you prove yourself to yourself, you're building a legacy of strength, resilience, and purpose. You're showing the world what's possible when someone refuses to give up. And that's a legacy worth leaving. When you push yourself to grow, you're not just changing your own life, you're inspiring those around you. Your actions create a ripple effect, showing others what's possible and encouraging them to rise to their potential. Think about the people in your life who look up to you. Friends, family, co-workers. They're watching, learning, and being influenced by your example. When they see you pushing through challenges, overcoming obstacles, and striving for greatness, it reminds them they can do the same. Your growth is bigger than you. It's a gift to everyone around you. So don't just do it for yourself. Do it for the ripple effect you'll create. Every day you have a choice to stay the same or to grow, to let fear hold back, or to push forward despite it, to settle for less, or to strive for greatness. So ask yourself, why not you? Why not now? There's no better time to start than today. Than yourself. So take the first step. Make the commitment. Prove to yourself, once and for all, that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. This is your journey. This is your battle. You versus you. What are you waiting for? The truth is, time doesn't care about your plans, your excuses, or your hesitation. The clock is ticking. Every second you spend debating whether to start or continue is a second you will never get back. There are no refunds, no do-overs. Life moves forward whether you're ready or not. Think about this. The most valuable resource in your life isn't money, talent, or connections. It's time. It's the one thing you can never replace. You can rebuild your finances, reinvent yourself, and recover from failure, but you cannot reclaim lost time. Every moment you spend idle is a moment you surrender to the abyss of nothingness. So ask yourself, how much longer are you willing to wait? How many more days will you waste? Time is unforgiving. It doesn't care if you're tired, scared, or unsure. It keeps moving forward, relentlessly, unyieldingly. The question is, are you moving with it? Or are you being left behind? You've probably heard the saying, time is money. But that's wrong. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. You can lose all the money in the world and earn it back. But once a moment passes, it's gone forever. The richest people in the world, with all their billions, can't buy an extra hour of life. Think about that the next time you're tempted to scroll mindlessly through social media or binge watch another show. Is this how you want to spend the most precious resource you have? Regret often comes too late. People on their deathbeds rarely regret the risks they took or the times they failed. They regret the opportunities they ignored, the dreams they let die, and the time they wasted. Don't let that be your story. You are here now, reading this, alive and capable. You have the gift of this moment, but that gift comes with responsibility. What will you do with it? The beauty of time is that it's yours to control. Every day is a blank slate, a fresh start. It doesn't matter how much you've wasted in the past. What matters is what you do now, in this very moment. Use it wisely. and you can build the life you've always dreamed of. Squander it, and you'll join the ranks of those who live with the heavy burden of regret. Time is a resource you must defend fiercely. Think of it as currency, and every minute is a coin you spend. Are you investing it wisely, or are you letting it slip through your fingers? Successful people understand this. They guard their time jealously. They plan their days with purpose, eliminating distractions and focusing on what truly matters. Time management isn't just about being productive. It's about honoring the value of your own life. Why haven't you started yet? Is it fear? Laziness? Be honest with yourself. The number one reason people don't achieve their goals is that they're too busy making excuses. I don't have time. I'm not ready. I'll start tomorrow. Sound familiar? Here's the hard truth. Tomorrow isn't promised. Waiting for the perfect moment is a fool's game because it will never come. Conditions will never be ideal. The only way to move forward is to start where you are, with what you have, right now. Excuses are comfortable. They let you off the hook. They give you a reason to stay in your comfort zone, where it's safe and familiar. But comfort is the enemy of progress. Every time you choose comfort over action, you're choosing mediocrity over greatness. You're choosing to stay stuck rather than grow. Stop waiting for motivation to strike. Motivation is fleeting. It's unreliable. Discipline is what you need. Discipline means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means taking that first step even when you're uncertain. Excuses don't build dreams. Action does. Ask yourself this. Are your excuses worth sacrificing your potential? Each excuse you make is another brick in the wall that separates you from your goals. Tear it down. One step forward, one action, no matter how small, chips away at that wall. You have the power to destroy your excuses and liberate your future if you're willing to try. Too often, we're paralyzed by the enormity of our goals. We look at the mountain we want to climb and think, it's too big. I can't do it. But here's the secret. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You do it one step at a time. Small, consistent actions build momentum. And momentum creates results. Start small. Wake up 15 minutes earlier to work on your goals. Replace one unhealthy meal with something nutritious. Read one chapter of a book that will help you grow. These tiny actions may seem insignificant, but over time, they add up to massive change. The key is consistency. It's not about making huge leaps. It's about making steady progress every single day. Imagine a plane that adjusts its course by just 1 degree. Over a short distance, the change is barely noticeable. But over thousands of miles, that tiny adjustment can take the plane to an entirely different destination. Your life works the same way. Small actions, repeated consistently, can transform your future. Momentum is your secret weapon. Once you've taken the first step, the second step becomes easier. Each step forward builds confidence, and confidence fuels progress. Remember this. Progress doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is that you're moving. Carves through rock, not by sheer force, but by persistence. See the river. Let's face it, change is hard. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. But here's the thing. That pain is temporary. The discomfort you feel when you push yourself to work harder, learn more, or step out of your comfort zone will eventually fade. But regret lasts forever. Imagine yourself 10 years from now, looking back on today. Will you be proud of the choices you made? Or will you wish you had tried harder, started sooner, or taken a chance? The pain of discipline is far easier to bear than the pain of regret. Discipline strengthens you, regret weakens you. Every time you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Remember the future you're working toward. Success isn't about avoiding pain. It's about enduring it and coming out strong on the other side. Pain is a sign that you're growing, that you're pushing past your limits. Embrace it. Use it as fuel. Regret, on the other hand, will haunt you. It will whisper to you in the quiet moments, reminding you of the chances you didn't take, the dreams you abandoned. Don't give it that power. Choose discipline over regret. Choose action over inaction. Choose growth over stagnation. Your future self will thank you. What is your purpose? If you can't answer that question, it's time to start searching. Purpose gives your life meaning. It gives you direction. Without it, you're like a ship adrift at sea, tossed around by the waves, going nowhere. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just has to be meaningful to you. Maybe it's being the best parent you can be. Maybe it's building a business that helps others. Maybe it's creating art that inspires. Whatever it is, find it. Hold on to it. Let it guide your actions every day. Living with purpose means aligning your actions with your values. It means setting goals that matter and working toward them relentlessly. It means waking up each day with intention, knowing that everything you do is moving you closer to the life you want. Purpose also gives you resilience. When you know your why, you can endure almost any how. Life will throw challenges at you. That's inevitable. But if your purpose is strong, you'll find a way to overcome them. Purpose turns obstacles into stepping stones, and failures into lessons. It keeps you grounded, focused, and unstoppable. One day your time will run out. It's an uncomfortable truth, but it's the truth nonetheless. When that day comes, what will you leave behind? Will you leave a legacy of excuses and wasted potential? Or will you leave a legacy of action, impact, and inspiration? Your legacy isn't just about the big things you achieve. It's about the little things you do every day.
That's it.
It's about the lives you
It's a
touch,
good workout.
the kindness you show, the example you set. Every moment is an opportunity to create something meaningful, to leave the world a little better than you found it. Don't wait until it's too late to start building your legacy. Start now. Live each day as if it matters, because it does. The clock is ticking, and every second counts.
Physical pain, it only lasts for a little while and then it goes away. The regret is a pain that hurts like something that you can't compare it to because it never goes away. It keeps on hurting every time you think about it. No regrets, guys.